Good morning. Good morning. Good morning from Montreal. And I guess I feel that I must speak out or whatever. When I must really speak out this morning or whatever. I mean, reading the news still come the atrocious news that's still coming out from Gaza. I mean, it's terrible. I must say it's really terrible. It's beyond terrible. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see what's been unfolding in in Gaza for the past weeks. Relentless, I'm going to say, a relentless assault on the Palestinian people. This is non-stop assault that the Palestinian people have had to undergo, and it's very sad. It's very tragic that the world, as a world community, we have to witness this. And we may say to ourselves, what can we do? All I can respond to that is that we have to speak out. We have to voice ourselves. We have to voice our discontent at what's happening, our anger at what's happening. Because listen, we are a world community. This is what we are. We may be separated by so-called imaginary countries and imaginary boundaries, but we are a world community. So what happens to someone else in another part of the world, it's a part of us too. We are one collective soul. This is what we need to begin to understand. And it's horrendous. It's horrendous what's happening in Gaza. I mean, many people, like I've said, are calling it a genocide, and it is, and it is, and it is a genocide. It is. It is the extermination of the Palestinian nation and extermination of the Palestinian people, and and much of the world. Even though there have been protests, many countries have refused to respond. I just read yesterday or whatever that the United States, the USA government, in the UN National Security Council has voted against the resolution for a ceasefire in Gaza. This is horrible and this is terrible. This makes the United States government complicit, complicit in the murder which is taking place on the ground in Gaza. They are guilty too. The US, not only the US, the European powers too, are also guilty. And they also have blood on their hands. This is the reality of it. They cannot claim innocence. They cannot claim that they care about the Palestinian people and at the same time veto a resolution. If the United States had acted with their weight and with their power, they could have stopped and a ceasefire would have been worked upon. But what did they choose to do? They chose to support Israel in its murderous impulses. Shame on the US. Shame on the US for doing this. And this will not be forgotten. It will not be forgotten in the books of history. And, and I watched a little short clip too. Yesterday horrendous clip again of ordinary Palestinian citizens being forced to kneel down in the middle of the street in their underwear. This Israel did in their search for members of Hamas. You're going to tell me how they're going to find members of Hamas in such a fashion? I say this suffering has to be put to an end. It has to come to an end. And the world community must act, because we are on very serious dangerous ground. The repercussions from what is taking place in Gaza can be very serious. If we think that all the neighboring Arabic countries are going to remain silent, like Iran, like Turkey, I don't think this is going to happen. I don't think this is going to happen. I think, unfortunately, that certain countries may join in the conflict and cause a wider explosion, not only in the region, but on an international scale. We may be facing some very serious consequences in terms of military conflict. I ask you to reflect on this very serious situation. And if it's in your power to do something to bring about a ceasefire, to bring about an end to this suffering. Thank you for your time.